everybody, here we are again today for some workout. Today we are just going to stay here on the mat and we are going to focus on a little bit of flexibility. So I hope you enjoy. Have fun. So the only thing we are going to need in this workout is a belt or a strip or something. So you tuck the belt around your stomach where your belly button is, and then you lie on your back. In case you have problems with your lower back, you can keep your knees bent. This is then much easier. Otherwise, you make the knees straight and you're going to take 5 deep breaths in and out, always breathing against the belt. So breathing in, the belt kind of tightens around your stomach. And breathing out, the belt relaxes again a little bit. So you want to focus that your stomach comes up and down while you take your 5 breaths. So take all the time you need for the 5 breaths. If you are not done, when I'm done here, then just put the video on hold. Otherwise, this is your last breath. Then you come up into a sitting, you put the belt to the side. And we are going to mobilize the feet. So sit straight, don't round your back, but try to have your hands right and left from your hip. And then start pulling also 5 times your feet as much up and down as you can. So you push your toes away from you and you pull your toes towards you. So one leg at a time. You don't want to bend your knees here. You want to keep the knees as straight as you can and push the toes as much away as you can. After finishing 5 repetitions, you want to kind of move your feet inside and outside. So the feet should come together in and then as much as they can outside. So the knees again stay straight. We do again 5 repetitions. Do it in your own pace and keep the knees straight. When you are done with the 5 repetitions, you want to you bend your knees and then you want to open the knees to the right and to the left. While one knee goes down, we do also 5 here. Try to have your back straight as you can. And while your one knee is going down, the other one points to the ceiling. So go in your own speed. You should feel a pulling in your groin area, in the hip area, and try to let the knee go down as much as you can. Hold a little bit down and then come back and up. And then we are done here. Okay, and then we go for mobilizing the hip a bit more. So you lie on your back and you pull one knee at a time towards your chest. So going from here, I bring one knee up towards my chest and I push the other knee down into the ground. And I want to feel again a stretching in the hip joint. My toes point up towards the ceiling. And you keep going again in your own speed. And pull. And keep pulling. The other leg always stretches down. Pull your toes up so that your leg is long and straight. And the last one, pull and down. Good. So next movement, lying on your back and you want to bend your hip 90 degrees and then stretch one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. You hold the movement for like 1 second and you just keep going up and change, and every time you push your heel as much as you can up towards the ceiling. And then you come up into a sitting and go from there with one foot to the front. Make sure that your knee is in one line with your ankle and that your upper body is not leaning front or back. And then you just want to bend the knee and push the knee as much to the front as you can, mobilizing your ankle joint. Your front foot stays all the way on the ground and you just go forward and back. The back leg stays on the ground as well. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you bring your hands up each time you shift forward. Go for 5 times on each side, or for 3 times without the hands up and for 3 times with the hands up. And then you change. You take the other foot to the front, you make sure that your knee is straight, and then you go again. And push forward and back. When you come back, you make the knee as straight as you can. You come forward, you come back. And then you go again for 3 times with the hands up. As much as you can, bringing the knee forward, feeling a stretch in your right leg. Forward, and then going forward. Okay, now we combine these two movements by changing every time. So we do one stretch to the front, then we change the leg, we go to the other side to the front, then we change and we go forward again, and change, and change, and keep going. Hands can come up or stay down, and then we are done here. Now we go into a cat and dog from the yoga. So you come on your fours, you put your hands directly on your shoulders, not in front, not in the back, and then you just start rounding your back up and down. We go for 5 times. And when you come up to, you look as much up at the ceiling as possible, and 3, looking up at the ceiling as much as possible, and 4, and down, back goes down, your whole spine goes down, and then 5. Okay, then we are going to combine these movements. So we take one foot forward and shift as much as possible, take the foot back, take the other foot forward, shift as much as possible, then you come down on your fours and you round and stretch your back. You repeat this one for 4 times, so rounding, down and up, 1 foot forward, and 1 foot forward, and come on your fours, round and down and up, and then one more time, 1 foot forward, 1 foot forward, and on your fours, and round and up. So let's bring it all together now. We start lying on the back, and you want to stretch 1 foot at a time up 2 times. So one comes up, the other one comes up, one comes up, the other one comes up. Then you go from there on your fours. You round your back up and down and up and down 2 times again. And then 1 foot comes forward, hands come up, 1 foot comes forward, hands come up, switch again, 1 foot forward, hands come up, 1 foot forward, hands come up. And then we do the same thing again. So you lie again on your back and you stretch 1 leg at a time up towards the ceiling. Repeat 2 times. Come as quick as possible up on your fours. Round your back and down. Round your back and down. And then bring 1 foot forward, stretch your hands up. 1 foot forward, stretch your hands up. And again, 1 foot forward, stretch your hands up. And 1 foot forward, stretch your hands up, and repeat one last. So one last movement, lie on your back, bend your knees, stretch 1 leg up, stretch 1 leg up, stretch 1 leg up, stretch 1 leg up, turn, come on your fours, round your back 2 times, up and down, and up and down. Take 1 foot to the front, shift forward, come with your hands up, 1 foot to the front, come with your hands forward, and again shift and shift. Good. So in the next movement, we are going to combine the downward dog from the yoga with a Spiderman movement. So you go first on your fours, then you come into a high plank, and then you push your hip up towards the ceiling. While you do this, you rotate your arms inside so that your shoulder blade move back over your spine. Then you come down into a high plank, then you go again back into a downward dog. And you come forward and down into a plank again. Yeah, my hip could stay a little bit more up here. And then hip comes again back and up. You stretch, push your heels down towards the ground. And one more time come into a plank. Then again, you come back and up and you bend your knees 1 at a time. And we go for 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5, bending 1 at a time. And then we are going now to do a Spiderman movement. For the Spiderman, you want to come into a high plank and then bring your right foot forward to your right hand. Bring the foot as much to the front as you can. Now you see here in my video, the knee that stays back is always bending. We don't want this. I saw this now only when I took the video. So always have the back leg straight. And then switch, stay for like 2 seconds in front and do 5 changes. So we are here in change number 3, 4. Yeah, and always the back leg straight, of course. This is really irritating me here that the knee is not straight. So this is what the film is actually quite good for. you can see yourself. So then we are going to combine these two movements. So we are first going to do a plank, of course. Then we are going into a downward dog, elbows inside, and we are going to bend the knees. Bend and bend. 3, good, and 4. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. 5. And then you come from here into a Spiderman. Bring your foot forward next to your hand. Bring your foot forward next to your hand. And then again, bend your knees. Bend your push back and bend your knees. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Then you come again into a plank and you bring your foot forward next to your hand, and the opposite leg, of course, is straight, and foot forward next to your hand. And forward next to your hand, and again forward next to your hand. Then again back and up. And you bend again, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And then again into a plank. Head could come a bit more up as well. And forward, and then one more time, forward, and forward. And then we take a short break. This was a tough round. So, then our next movement is finally in standing, and we are going to rotate the thoracic spine. In order to block the lumbar spine, we take our feet as much right and left outside as possible. So then you try to come with a straight back to the front and touch with your hands the ground. You can also use a block here if this is easier. You don't want to round your spine. And then you start rotating your hands right and left up. So take the hands on the ground, follow with your head the hand, and go up and switch, and up, and up, and then we go for 2 more times, up, up, and again, and up, smile in life, and up, good. Now, our next step is again a lateral lunge in standing. So I stand, I have my feet together. Then I step with 1 foot all the way outside and I stretch my hands to the front. So feet together, 1 foot comes outside, hands stretch to the front as much as possible, hip goes back, and then hip back, upper body comes forward, your bending knee stays in one line with your ankle, then hip back, upper body forward, hands stretch as front as you can. You want to feel some pulling on the stretched leg. And hip back, upper body forward. Try not to fall. The wider you make the step, the more difficult it gets with the balance. And we go for a few more repetitions. So down and switch. And then again down, and the last one, and switch. So for our next movement, we go into a deep lunge. So you step outside again, and then you bend your knee as much as you can, keeping your bending knee in one line with your ankle. Come up as elegant as possible. Then we go to the other side. You will see both sides are remotely different. So here you see I have been drinking a little bit apparently. So upper body is long and straight. Then again I come up elegantly. Then go again to the other side. Down, stretch as much as you can. You don't have to go down all the way. You can also just repeat the same movement we did before. Just try to come down as much as you can. And then again down. Upper body comes front and back. So now we bring it all together. We start in standing, taking the feet right and left outside and the hands down on the floor. Then we rotate one hand up to the ceiling and one hand up to the ceiling. We go from here into a high plank. Then one foot comes forward next to your hand. The right foot comes forward next to your hand and back. And then the left foot comes forward. Hold 1 second. And back. Then from here into a downward dog, you bend your knee and bend your knee. Plank. And then lie on your back and bring again 1 foot up to the ceiling. And 1 foot up to the ceiling. Then as quickly as you can, you come up into a standing and you take your foot out to the right and back and out to the left. Hip comes back, hands come front. And then we change again as quickly as we can. Hands come up, hands come down, feet go outside, back is long and straight, rotate to one side, rotate to the other side, come into a plank. Take 1 foot forward next to your right hand, back, 1 foot forward next to your left hand, back, come into a downward dog, bend your knees. Yeah, and 2 times, good. And then we go from here, lie on your back. And bending your knees and stretch one leg up to the ceiling and one leg up to the ceiling. Come up into a standing as quickly as possible, and you want to step out to the right and step out to the left. And up. So I'm showing here a variation. You can go all the way down, or you just do the same thing as we did before. So 2 more times. We come again down, stretch the hands up to the ceiling, rotate, one right, one left. Then go again back into a plank and take 1 foot forward next to your right hand. Hold and back, and 1 foot forward next to your left hand, hold and back, then come back into a downward dog, rotate the arms inside, bend your knees and plank, and then lie as quickly as you can on your back and bend your knees, stretch one foot up to the ceiling and stretch 1 foot up to the ceiling. Then come quickly up into a standing and step out to the right and out to the left. Okay, one last time. Standing, rotate sideways, then going from there into a high plank. Come from there with 1 foot forward next to your hand, stretch the other leg straight and back. And forward to your hand and stretch back, hip coming back and up, elbows rotating inside, bend your knee, come into a plank again and lie on your back, stretching one leg up towards the ceiling. Then come up into a standing and step out to the right and come back and in, and step out to the left and come back and in. So guys, that's it for today for our flexibility workout. I hope you enjoyed it and you can kind of work this in between your normal workouts, and I will see you for the next week. Bye bye.